All right, guys, don't make fun of my voice. I know I sound a little ridiculous, so I'm gonna try to keep this quick tonight, probably about 30, 40 minutes just to save this for tomorrow because I do have appointments and I do have meetings tomorrow. So the Jessica, I'm surviving on like Theraflu, sugar-free cough drops, and just sheer grit. I don't feel great. But yeah, Mucinex, Dayquil, Theraflu, you name it. It's all in there somewhere. It's all been coursing through the veins. So we'll just keep it going. But if I cough, hey, at least you're not next to me because I can't get you sick, right? That's the beauty of Zoom. All right. So I'm gonna roll really quick through the all in August presentation from the company just to hit some highlights because we've been talking about a few things for the majority of the month, but I don't know if it's really sunk in yet for people, especially for people that are like bonus eligible still. So here we go. Let me hit that. All right, we'll get this going. So this is the presentation from the company for August. We've been talking a lot about the Gulf Coast getaway. All right. So every year, Primerica does two trips. We just came back from the summer trip, right? So it's every year in August and then every year in February. There's two trips. You can qualify for both. You qualify at your level, meaning you're really only competing against other people in your level of category, right? So if you're brand new and you haven't even been in the business for very long yet, you're going to be competing in the life licensed after category, meaning you're only going to be competing against other people that got their license during this like trip. You're not competing against regional vice presidents and national sales directors and that sort of thing, right? That wouldn't be fair. Right now, though, right now, you can get reset to earning the trip and being on track in your category. Anybody that does one direct recruit and 1,000 in premium, meaning like one policy of 84 bucks a month or two policies of 42 bucks a month. It doesn't matter, right? As long as it adds up to 1,000, you get reset to being like winning in your category. You go into last place. So there's going to be however many like dozens of people tied for that last place slot in that category. And then from there, you're back into competing. Okay. And then we'll have a different one that's focused on like how you earn points and that thing, that sort of thing. But the biggest way to earn points, guys, is to have a team and then have people get licensed on your team, right? So every license is worth 30,000 points. So here's the other thing. If you're already on track and you're earning it, you don't go down, right? You would just get an extra 150,000 points. So Primerica will do whatever is going to be more beneficial for you. All right. So the importance of this, I cannot stress this enough, right? To get reset and then to earn the extra 150,000 points. Because like last trip, Haley was in like second place and she missed this by like 1 month of the extra 150,000 points. And she almost like missed the trip. That's how close it was towards the end. So guys, don't miss this. Right? Do not miss this. Here's the bigger one though, right? If you're like, I'm never going to qualify for the trip, well, you will get paid. And if you're bonus eligible right now, don't miss this. Field training bonus eligible recruits, all of you, right? Not just brand new ones, personally get one direct recruit and 1,000 in premium in August. So like this month, you bank your normal 200 on top of the normal 200. So that means right now your first one by one of August is worth a $400 bonus. Oh, by the way, you got 50 bucks for logging into your app. And if you finish your licensing course within the first 30 days of being in the business, you bank an extra 100. So that means right now, if you're brand new, like Sam, right? Sam Moore for you, girl, you're brand new. You're going to be through your course like tomorrow. You've already logged into the app. Your first one by one, you're going to be set up for a $550 bonus and your first promotion from 25 to 35%. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Right? Like that's some like pretty amazing because now all of a sudden it would normally only be a $250 bonus. Guys, Primerica is giving brand new people an extra $300 bonus just to do what they normally would have done. I mean, Jen, you got promoted and licensed when this wasn't around. That's almost double what your bonus was just in extras. You can't control when Primerica is going to do this. I have no idea. But right now, guys, don't miss this chance to get a 550 bonus and a promotion just to do a one by one. Here's how crazy that is. You could do a policy on yourself and you could pay for somebody else's like licensing IBA. Pay their 99. You'd essentially be trading 99 for a 550 bonus and a promotion. Here's the dirty little trick. If if you paid for somebody's IBA and they come in the business and they don't do anything, guess what? The recruit credit stays on your like bonus account. Your bonus has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. So if they come in and then they quit, oh well, right? It wasn't for them. This is the biggest thing that I wanted to focus on right now. Is there anybody that's new that does not understand this? Put it in the chat, put your hand up, unmute yourself, do whatever you need to do. Everybody's good. Okay. So like Bree, you've got to recruit this month, right? And so if you go get like another client to sit down and get some training, it should be a $400 bonus for you, right? Based on this. I'm just saying, don't miss it. Don't miss that shot, right? Back to this really quick. Field trainers, if you need a direct recruit personally, but if you write the premium for one of your new recruits that's getting licensed, the 1,000 in premium counts for you as the person that wrote it, and it counts for the recruit that observed it. So you kind of get to double dip here. So you can kind of get yourselves both reset off of one policy, right? Off one policy, you can get yourself reset. Let's jump down to some of this other stuff really quick. For some of you that have just recently gotten licensed, when you log into your app, you should see this life training hub. The Life Training Hub is a great tool for you to like get in and get exposed to some of the different things about policies, different things about like why we get in front of clients, why our term product is some of the best, right? Fundamental concepts, understanding the industry. So this is some cool stuff. This never used to exist, so get in there. Get in there and use that. Get exposed to it. It's just going to make you more comfortable with the products, okay? Recruit Tracker, Life Champion certificates, guys, you know all about that. Don't worry about that. Securities bombshell, right? Haley, this is a cool one. I don't know if you're going to get through all three exams that fast, but right, Primerica's doing cool stuff all the time, right? If you get a license and then write some production for your with your securities license, there's 300 people. Primerica's going to give away $300,000 in bonuses just for people getting licensed and doing a little bit of production. That's insane, right? Retirement plan training, that's for people that have a securities license. Here's a cool one. I didn't even know this was a thing. August is National Make a Will Month. Who knew that? I didn't know that. Sometimes I think we just be making stuff up. Like every month is its own month of like special things to do. But I'll take it, right? Because National Will Month means we have PLPP. There are tons of people out there that don't have wills. They don't have legal documents. If you help someone get PLPP or you even refer yourself, you get your will, even at just a rep level, you're going to get paid, right? Jen, you just filled out all your paper. Look at that. You just did it for yourself, so you got paid to refer yourself, and you got your wills and everything done. Now you're just waiting on them to come back. How cool is that, right? Look at this, guys. Most people without a will have children that are under 18. The most, like the scariest thing about that is the fact that like God forbid something happens to both parents, those kids go to some sort of like custodial probate. That's the scariest thing about a will. Nobody cares about your baseball cards or like your Ninja Turtle collection, right? Like that stuff doesn't matter. The kids are what matters. Actual like assets are what matter, right? So don't put your family out there like that. You need to be prepared. You need to be protected, and they do. Okay, that's what a will is for. There's a PLPP training video out there, right? Like if you're like, I don't know how to do this, right? So go watch, right? There's training everywhere. Go to POL products, PLPP training videos. I'll walk through one of these as well. Yeah, I mean, Jen, that's amazing, right? What's up, Haley?
If you're in South Carolina, you have to be licensed. So just reach out to me or Jessica. And what I'll do is after I get paid off of it, I'll pay you what you would have made on it.
Yeah, that's a heck of a deal, right? Haley went through the courses, went through all the licensing for it. She got all that done. And she's saying right now, if you're in South Carolina, you can't write it for yourself. So what you need to do is let her write it for you. And then what, like, we can go look at the like commission chart to see what you would have gotten paid, whether it's like 50, 60 bucks. I don't even know what it is right now. But if you like when she gets paid, she will pay you what you would have gotten paid had you referred yourself from another state. That's pretty awesome. All right. If you're in Georgia, you can refer yourself all day. It doesn't matter. The only people that have to have a license are South Carolina and I think like Massachusetts or New Jersey or something weird. Here's another big Vivint incentive though. Who knows what Vivint is? If you're new and you don't know what Vivint is, like raise your hand or put it in the Zoom chat or something. Because Vivint is sort of like the ADT security system, monitoring, all sorts of cool stuff. If you're brand new, right, within your first 30 days, there's some training that you can go watch. It's a video. It's a video, right? And then complete a Vivint referral within the first 30 days of coming onto the business. You get a $200 bonus. You get your 250 comp. So that's 450 bucks. Plus, right now, the incentive that just came out today is an iPad. And we're only talking, I think the minimum install is like whatever the monthly system like monitoring and then like a two camera minimum. The doorbell counts as a minimum, as one of those cameras. Pretty awesome. Oh, by the way, you can refer yourself. If you have a house and you've been thinking about putting cameras on it or monitoring or something, right? Melissa just told me today, she's like, I think I need to, I think we want the Vivint. And I'm like, well, okay, right? I'll call and refer ourselves, like whatever. Because the house, like the fire alarms and all that stuff in the house are older because it's an older house. She's like, I think I want that. Like, okay, right. I'm gonna refer myself, guys, and I'm gonna get paid for it. Now I'm not a new rep, I won't get the bonus, but who cares? We'll get something out of it. This is the Primerica fundamentals. This is just like the Redline fundamental picture, but they changed it and they made it sort of like uglier. Ours is better. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't change, right? At the tip of the spear, guys, is recruiting, right? You bring in a large team, you build distribution. Well, when you recruit somebody, you can't just recruit somebody, take their money for an IBA and send it to Primerica and then do nothing with them. You got to train them, right? In order to train them, we have to get into the field. They have to set some appointments with their hot market. We train them. They have to get their license, and then we promote them. Okay. The recruit has to do the licensing. We field train. They get promoted, and then you start all over. And that's the business sort of in a nutshell, guys. All right. Here's one of the big things about like what happens when people come in and go quickly. Like a recruit that gets a recruit within their first 2 weeks, four times more likely to get their license. Why do you think that is? Right? Because if they get a recruit, now they have a potential for a bonus, right? And a promotion, right? So if they get a recruit and they get trained and their training premium means they got into the field, they saw the system work, eight times more likely to get a license. Well, that's pretty simple because if they got a recruit and they saw some premium, that means they have a bonus, right? They have tangible money that if they just go get licensed, they're going to get paid. And then if they keep complete their pre-licensing in the first 30 days, again, eight times more likely. Guys, it's just I can't stress enough how important it is to go fast, right? Samantha just came in like 2 days ago. Today might be day three. She's almost done with her course. She's got her post up. She's doing great. Sam, the only thing I would stress to you right now that you need to do a little bit more is get some public shares on your post, right? Get some more traffic, get some more stuff going on that. And then we got to set some appointments and we got to get in front of some people to show what you're doing. And we're going to go over that a little bit tonight too, right? Because guys, I can teach you to be really great at sales. But at the end of the day, I don't want our clients ever to feel like we sold them something. And I know that kind of sounds ridiculous. No, you just told me you're going to make me great at sales. Yes, true. But our job is to show value. And then a client should move forward because they saw a need. You identified that need for them. Maybe you had to expose it. You never know. But once they see the value, that's when they decide to move forward. Right? Like I was with Brianna earlier and we talked to her sister, and her sister was like, I know life insurance is important. It's just not a priority right now. And then we got to talking a little bit more, and I asked a couple of questions, and lo and behold, we're going to get back together with her and her 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 children's father this weekend because there is a need there, right? There is a need there. He's the breadwinner. He's not covered either. We need to get something at least at a minimum to replace the mortgage. At a minimum, right? So that's what we're focusing on with people in terms of like getting in front of people. Look at this, guys. Field training bonuses since we've started paying bonuses, we've paid over $4.5 million, or excuse me, that's what's banked right now, meaning it's in there and somebody hasn't gotten licensed to get it paid. But look at this, almost $48 million in bonuses paid. That's crazy. And people that actually get licensed and get that bonus, look at the stats, right? Even if they're not focused on building a team, just personal premium, they're 300% more likely to get their license and use it. That's huge. That's huge, right? I want to skip some of this here really quick. Don't need those guys. Here's the biggest one. We should be focusing everybody that's brand new right now on getting to their district contract. That means at a minimum, they're looking at a $700 bonus, most likely 750, right? Right now, if they're brand new and they get to a district contract, it's a 950 bonus. 950 bonus. So you're going to have three new teammates. You're going to protect three families, expanding your market with 30 referrals. Here's what that means, right? Like if you get three new teammates and you get in front of three clients, each one of those people, right, should be bringing you new referrals and new markets. That's the way to leverage that. That's why getting in front of your hot market is so important. Hey, even if they didn't move forward, hey, listen, I totally understand this isn't for you right now, but you see a ton of value in what we're doing for families, right? It's called a tie down. Awesome. I know this wasn't for you, but who do you know that this would be great for? Because there's not everybody can be like you because you've got it all set, but who do you know that this would be great for? And that's how you ask for the referral without sounding salesy. It just sounds like you're trying to help, right? I mean, obviously you said, "Hey, look, I'm going to ask for referrals," but you didn't just say, "Hey, give me some referrals." Because nobody wants to do that. Hey, who do you know this would be great for? I'd love to just get in front of some people, show them this, right? And especially if it came from you, that'd be a strong recommendation. You're giving a compliment while you're asking for that thing. Because you guys probably know a ton of people that are very influential within circles, right? Within markets of people, within groups of people. I challenge you. I challenge you. Go get in front of some of those people. Even if you think they're all set, who cares? Even if you think they're all set and you're like gonna puke just asking them for a favor, ask. Hey, Jen, listen, I know you guys are all set, but I've got to get some training in. Would you be open to just sitting down for like 30 minutes and letting me give a presentation? I mean, you might find that you need something, but like best case scenario for me, I get another like rep in of giving a presentation, and then at the end of it, you might know somebody that this would be great for. I know you're all set. Remove the idea that they're like, oh God, you're just trying to come in and sell me something. Take that away. Hey, listen, I just got to get some repetition in, right? I gotta get through my pitch. Would you be open to just sitting down with me for like 30 minutes on a Zoom call? I know you're all set. I know you don't need this. I just got to get some reps in. Like think about it from your perspective. How much easier do you think it would be to make that phone call if you were leading with the fact that like no stress, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Just do it, right? But that's the biggest thing that most people won't do. They will not pick up the phone and make a call. They're going to hope that sending a text message is going to be enough. And 9 out of 10 times it won't be. It won't be. All right. So call a meeting, guys. Listen, $700 field training bonus minimum, right? It's really like 950 right now for the new people. Get through your class in your 30 days for your brand new people. And if you're somewhere past that, who cares? Just go faster, right? The best thing that you can do is go a little bit faster right now. Wherever you are, just go a little bit faster. All right, before I switch over presentations, any questions on any of this stuff right now? Anybody? Licensed, unlicensed, anybody? Questions about Marco Island, right? It's a trip for two. They're going to fly you down there, both of you, from wherever you are to Marco Island down here in Florida, put you up in the JW Marriott, which is a baller hotel. no joke. Feed you, right? Breakfast. There's a like a reception that first night. There's breakfast during the like sessions, and then there's like a going away buffet breakfast thing at the end. Your time in the evenings and the afternoons is totally up to you. You can go do whatever you want. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Questions about the reset? Questions about the bonuses? Going once, going twice. Okay, everybody gets this. Good. All right, let's jump over here. Oh, Series 65 manual. That's going to be fun. That's only 680 pages. No big deal. Yeah, buddy. Oh my God. You guys want to see the book for that? All right, check this out. Look at this. All right, this was the Series 26 book, right? This is the book that made me a principal. Like I'm in charge of other brokers. That's the Series 26 book. There's the Series 65 book. Look at that. Look at the difference. That's insane. Like that's, I don't know, like a half inch. That's like 2 inches. That's a book, right? So the Series 65 exam, guys, is sort of what we would consider like the financial bar. It's sort of like the bar exam for financial professionals. So that one's gonna be fun. That one's gonna be fun. I downloaded the audiobook. It's 29 hours or something. I guess I better start walking. All right. So some more about Primerica, right? Everybody has seen this. We've all seen this before, but I want to go through this overall like presentation. Here's some stuff a lot of you guys probably haven't seen. This is old, right? 130,000 licensed reps. It's actually 153,000 right now. Yes, we're still on the New York Stock Exchange. Yes, we've been doing it since 1977. This is actually closer to 6 million lives and over 3 million. We're actually over $120 billion in assets under management now. It's a lot of money. Okay. Tons of awards. Forbes, Dalbar Mutual Fund, AM Best, Bloomberg, Better Business Bureau for like 40 years, A plus rated, right? There's tons of material out there for Primerica and like all of the accolades. But if I can go search on the internet and the interwebs and go find all of the good, what else can I go find? All of the bad, right? It's all out there. But guess what you could go find about any company? Heck, you could go find good and bad reviews about Santa Claus. You're gonna find what you're looking for, is really what it comes down to, guys. So I just put that out there because people associate Primerica with bad more so than good because that's what they go looking for. They go down a rabbit hole of these like Reddit threads and grumpy people that never got a license and so they never made any money. It's like, well, right, Uncle Timmy, I would agree with you that if you never got licensed, you would never make any money. But just so you know, right? We've all seen this one. We're not going to stress on this one. What I really want to get to is no, 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 no. This, right? This is the one that I want to focus on right now. So the cash flow quadrant, because I think this will help a lot of you understand why a Primerica business is, or any business for that matter, is huge, right? Most of us have been here in our lives. We've been an employee. You go to work, you trade time for money. Your boss says, this is how much time you can trade for so much money. You can't make any more unless you're allowed overtime, and you definitely can't go in there and say, hey, I want to make $5,000 today. Can't do it, right? You can't do it. And so here's the biggest thing, right? Like you will always be in a position where you have to trade that time for money and you can never have more of one or the other, right? If you take time off, you have no money, right? If you spend 80 hours at work, you have more money, but you have less time, right? So you're always in this position where you're in a losing battle with one or the other. Right? And then you can say, well, I want to go down the chart. I want to become self-employed. I want to own a job. Right? Well, doctor, lawyer, real estate, whatever, right? This is still like self-employed. This could be you in Primerica, right? You're self-employed and this is you, right? It's still reliant on you. Your income is still 100% off of one, right? So think about it like this. This dude, when you were an employee, you used to work for a lawn care company, right? You pushed a mower, you showed up, they said, hey, go do these lawns. right? Well, when you decided to go into work for yourself, you said, well, I'm going to go buy some mowers. I'm going to open my own company, right? So now let's say you can cut 6 lawns a day and you make 50 bucks a lawn. That means if you can do six in a day and you make 50 bucks, that means you make 300 bucks a day maximum, right? Now you say, dang, if I just bought two or three more mowers, maybe five more mowers, right? I got more. I've got more contracts and lawns than I can cut in a day. Well, now I'm a business owner. Now I'm a business owner. So now I'm going to hire Julia, Haley, Jen, Angela, and Traylyn. They're going to go cut lawns, right? And I say, hey, ladies, look, you guys go cut lawns, right? You keep 40. You just, right? The business is going to take 10 every time you cut a lawn. Well, guess what? Now, in an hour, every time one of them cuts a lawn, I make as much as if I had cut that lawn and I wasn't there, but I can still go cut lawns. So think about it like this. If I have enough capital and I can keep expanding and I can keep buying lawnmowers, I can hire indefinitely, right? So now the system is working. Now we're looking at income, whether I'm working or not, the business is making money. Do you guys see why we might recruit new agents, license them, train them, promote them so that they can make money and then the business makes money? Guys, that's it in a nutshell, right? Because now you're in a position where there's unlimited income potential because we could forever keep buying lawns, expanding the service, onboarding and hiring new customers, hiring new people. Well, the cool thing here is I can onboard and hire somebody, but I don't have to go buy a light. I don't have to go buy a lawnmower. Just bring them in and train them. There's no upfront capital required. I don't have to go buy a bunch of lawnmowers and have a huge warehouse. Primerica does all the back end for us, right? Jen, I don't know. I don't know why people think it's a scam. I will forever never understand why people think it's a scam. Guys, here's the easiest way. Like if people question, like, well, I don't get it. Like you work for Primerica, but there's this guy over here. And you say, yeah, like have you ever like driven down your main street in your town and seen like a State Farm building? Right. Well, it says State Farm on the sign, and then underneath it, it says like Bob Jones. There's no difference. This is Primerica by Noah and Melissa. That's it. It's my brokerage. It's my brokerage. You guys work in my brokerage until you hit the point where you become a regional vice president, and I'll promote you out and you go open your own. And then it's Primerica by Jen Sutherland. And it's Primerica by Haley Spires and Angela Weber. That's what it looks like, guys. Right? And then over time, like now you've got money. Now you put your money to work and it's invested, it's working for you, and it's growing. That's what it looks like. And you hit an example of this at some point. A lot of people will understand a real estate model, right? Most people know realtors, they know people that sell houses. And you can say, hey, great, like is your friend a real estate agent or are they the broker? And most of them will say, well, they're an agent. I said, perfect. Right? So that agent works for a broker. They work inside of a brokerage. Well, there's no difference here, right? Every one of you guys is an agent. I'm your broker. And the example that I use is, look, if I owned a real estate brokerage and there was me selling houses, well, do I just want me and like one other real estate agent selling houses, or do I want me and like 1,000 real estate agents selling houses? All of them. Right? I want all of them. Because if they're all agents working in a brokerage, if they go out and sell a house and make money, the brokerage makes money. Here's the crazy thing though, and if you didn't know this, you're welcome. Real estate agents have to like pay back the brokerage out of their actual commission up to a certain point. It's about 10 grand a year. It's about 10 grand a year that they have to actually pay the brokerage out of their commission. It's called hitting your cap. And then after that, you don't pay anymore. So the brokerage is actually like double dipping off of real estate agents up to a certain point. Here, if you go sell a policy and you're at a 50% contract, you make 50% of whatever that thing was. We don't take any of your money. But if the brokerage makes money while you were out making money, do you really care if we didn't take any of your money? Survey says no, right? That's called an override. And that's why you can start building a business within a business until you're at a point to become promoted to a regional vice president. Because if you're training and promoting and developing people and you get promoted and you stay ahead of them, right? You're getting an override every time they're licensed to make a sale. It's awesome. It's awesome, guys. That's you can start to get a taste of that, right? Like right now, our senior regionals, Angela and Haley. They're two senior regionals. They're at 80% contracts. And so they've got people that are licensed beneath them and producing. And every time some one of them makes a sale underneath, they get an override. Doesn't suck, right? An override is essentially how you can start to become into a position of time freedom. Because once you have enough distribution and enough licensed agents, the override should be taking care of itself, guys. But you got to build it first, right? You got to build it first. So here's your real estate model right here. I won't go into that. Definitely don't want to go into this. I want to show you this too, because I think people have a hard time understanding, like, because one of the objections you're going to hear is, "Oh my God, what do you mean I have to pay to start a job?" Like, well, not really. You're not paying to start a job, right? Your your licensing deposit, if you want to call it that, is essentially right here, 99 and 25. Like if you guys went out right now on your own and you didn't have Primerica, you didn't have the IBA, and you just said, "Hey, I want to get my life insurance license," right? I just want to get my life insurance license. This is about what you would pay on average. You have fees for the licensing curriculum. You have fees for the actual exam. You have fees for your background check. You have fees for your fingerprinting. Oh, by the way, if you fail it the first time and you have to pay to take it again, you're going to pay for that, right? You have no voucher system out there to get another shot at it or even a shot at the first one for free. This is the average cost, guys. So if you know someone that has even been thinking about getting into the insurance industry, just be like, "Hey, listen, if you've even thought about doing this, right, let me get you licensed for way cheaper. Oh, by the way, your cost for your life insurance license, that cost is like cumulative for all of your other licenses. As soon as your life license, we're going to give you the curriculum for your investment license. Your SIE is free. The only thing you pay for on your investment licensing journey, guys, is your exam fee. When you pass, you get that reimbursed as well. I'm telling you, it doesn't exist anywhere else that I know of, right? That you wouldn't be like captive, meaning if you left, they're keeping your license, right? Here's the other thing. If you come in with Primerica and you get your licenses and then you decided to leave, maybe you just like, oh, I don't know, you're like, I like the red shirts and the khakis over there at the snake farm. I want to go over there. Knock yourself out. Enjoy your cubicle and your cold calling and your non-commission paying job. Because here's the gross thing about like being a snake farm agent. If you don't hit all of your buckets and quotas for every single product, you don't get paid your full commission. Ask me how I know. I've recruited them before. I had one girl come over, it was about 2 years ago. She had sold almost $20,000 in premium on the life side. You know how much money she made at State Farm? She made like a grand total because she didn't hit her quotas for like fire insurance and water damage insurance and something and something and something. I said, girl, if had you come over here and just been like a representative selling that much, you'd have made 2,500 minimum. She goes, what? I said, yeah. I said, in reality, well, actually, no, it would have been 5 grand. 25% of 20,000 is 5 grand. I said, you would have made 5x what you made over there at just like a rep level, no promotions. Oh, by the way, you would have gotten promoted along the way, like during that sales process. You would have at least been at a 50% contract. You should have made at least 10 grand with us. She was livid. There you go, right? And look at the technology, guys. The cell phone discount stuff, yeah, it's out there. I've never messed with it, right? But your own business website, your own business reports, live on-demand video training. I mean, you're talking that's at least $100 a month, right? Errors and emission insurance is in there. And you also have back office support, right? Trey Lynn's our office manager. She helps with all of your processing of all of your life insurance applications. We have platinum access because we're a big producing base shop. You wouldn't know it by the numbers this month. But we have platinum access, meaning we have people at home office that are dedicated to us. It's crazy. We call a number, they pick up. And if our specific rep isn't like available right then, somebody else picks up. Our stuff gets processed faster, it gets special attention. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, guys, right? So if somebody says like, "Oh, well, I don't want to pay to start a job," I'm like, well, you're not paying to start a job. This is covering all of your requirements to get you started in the business and everything that you need for your licensing and your technology support that you need to run your business. That's what it is. And so like don't ever let people kind of throw that objection at you because it's not real, right? And this securities license at 750, it's way more than that. That's just for like your SIE. It's way more than that. Way more than that. What else is out there? That's enough for this one. So guys, that's kind of what I wanted to focus on tonight. I just kind of wanted to like free your brain up a little bit in terms of focusing on what we need to be doing and some of like the why behind what we do. But really what it comes down to, guys, like we sell term life insurance and investments, right? That's what we call buy term and invest. The reason that we do that is because most people get sold whole life insurance, cash value life insurance. The coverage that they get is very, very small relative to what they're paying. For example, most people, if they bought a whole life policy, they're going to spend somewhere around 100,000 or $100 per 100,000. Okay. That same client, we can probably 2 or 3x their coverage for about half the cost. It's crazy, right? And then we take the difference and we invest it. Okay, so buy term and invest. Let's just do it live really fast. I'll do it live really quick so you guys can get an idea so we can see it, right? And so the cool thing about this is in reality, I have never lost when I compare buy term and invest against a whole life policy. It can't happen, right? Especially if you get a hold of somebody relatively young. Like there's no way that you will ever lose. And so let me pull this up really fast. I'm just going to use a generic, like, I don't know, 35-year-old female. Female, oh, 32. That's what we'll go with. Generic 32-year-old female, $500,000 policy for 35 years. We'll even add some kids on, right? We'll add a child rider. Child rider, guys, is 25,000. We always put kids on for 25,000 because it maximizes the future value of their policy. Okay. In the future, we can convert this child rider to a adult policy with no medical exam. They can never be declined. At 25 years old, they can take out 125,000 in coverage or 5x what they had as a kid, right? 125 is the max on that conversion. Now, if they're healthy, they can have as much as they want, but the 125 is there as like a guarantee as a backup just in case. All right. So let's say not 197. There's like an extra person in here. Hang on. I just want to be able to show you the actual total. All right. So for mom and the kids, $87 a month. 500,000 on mom, 25,000 on all the kids. Plan length, right? These are the different lengths of term. That means for 35 years, her price for her policy is never going to change. That price will be 72.92 unless it comes back better for the next 35 years. It's called level term insurance. The price today is the price at the end. Mom is going to be 67 by the time this plan changes. At 67, if she's been investing, I'm going to show you, she will not need life insurance at the end. Watch. How much did we say on average 100,000 in whole life coverage costs? About $100 per 100,000, right? And so let's take the difference. If she was going to do this policy, oh, by the way, she would have a policy on, let's just say she has two kids. She'd have coverage on each of the two kids. So that's going to cost her more, but we'll just, for giggles, right? We'll just say 500 bucks minus 87, that's what, 413? We're going to take the difference and invest it. So let's look at mom's 32, goes to 67, that's the 35 years. We're going to open the account. We'll assume she has nothing already, right? So we're opening the account with the 413 and we're going to put in the 413 monthly and we're going to assume about a 9% rate of return. I use 9 because if you look right here, the historical 30-year return of the S&P 500 is between 10 and 12%. It's actually 9.48 depending on what average metric you use. So I use 9. It's fairly conservative. Watch how much money mom's going to have by the time she's 67 in one account that's a Roth IRA, meaning it's tax-free. Guys, by the time mom is 67, if she's got 1.2 million hanging around, does she still need a $500,000 life insurance policy? If she's done working, the house is paid off, the kids are grown, all of her debt is gone. Well, guys, God forbid something happens to mom, we're going to just liquidate some of this. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Here's the gross part about whole life. Let's talk about whole life real fast. If that whole time mom had been putting that 500 bucks a month into a whole life policy, she will have had a $500,000 policy. That is 100% true. But most people get sold that policy as an investment. And along the way, it's building a cash value, right? Well, if it's building a cash value and it's got life insurance, let me draw you a picture because this you guys need to be able to do this with people because this is what happens, right? Here's the bucket of your cash value life insurance, right? On one side, you have cash. On one side, you have death benefit, meaning insurance. Okay. So this is always 500K in this policy, right? So it's a $500,000 life insurance policy. How old will the client be when the cash equals $500,000? When the cash inside the policy is $500,000, how old will the client be, right? What age? Anybody know? 100. 100 years old. That's crazy. So if we know at 100 it's going to be a 500,000 and somewhere around 67, right? She took it out at 32, 67, 68, somewhere in that range. Let's just assume that the money's halfway full. It won't be, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And we'll say there's a $250,000 in here. And mom is 66 and she dies. When mom dies at 66, do the kids want a $500,000 or $250,000? Put in the Zoom chat. Which one do they want? They want 500,000, right? Well, guys, if the kids take a 500,000, who keeps this? Who keeps that $250,000 in cash if the family takes a $500,000 death benefit? You're right. The insurance company, guys. Does that seem fair? No. This stuff should make you irate because this is what happens, right? When people have whole life cash value life insurance, they're paying for two things because they get sold a life insurance policy and they get sold that the fact that that life insurance policy is a savings or an investment. But in fact, you only get one. So you pay for two, you get one. It's gross. It's gross. Let's go back. Let's go back to this, right? Somewhere along the way, if we lose mom, let's say we lose mom at 66. Right? Let me chop a year off. If we lose mom at 66, you know what those kids are getting? They're getting a $500,000 in life insurance, and they're getting this because they were the beneficiaries on that account. You pay for two, you get two. You get both, right? Here's the really gross thing because a lot of people too, they'll say, well, once I reach a certain age, I stop paying on my life insurance and I still have it. And I say, great, on the whole life, right? But if you take money out of the whole life policy, it's a loan, you have to pay it back. So if they're just waiting for that thing to hit a $500,000 at some point when they're 100, let's do this. Okay, if we're just talking about stopping on paying on life insurance, we're going to take this 1.2 million and we're going to stop paying into it. You with me? All right, so we're going to put in zero monthly. And even if I put it into something ridiculously safe, hell, I'll put it in a money market account, 4% from 67 to 100. You want to bet how much money's in this thing? Let's do it live. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 million? No, 4.5. $4.6 million dollars at a 4% rate of return, guys. That's literally a money market account. Watch what happens when I take it up 1%. Shoot dang. That's almost an extra $2 million. And I could probably almost guarantee that rate of return. That's insane. No math magician, right? But if the other policy is only ever going to be a $500,000 at 100, and I can say, hey, look, I could more than 12x that most likely, 10x safely. Which would you rather have? 5 million or a $500,000? I'll wait. Guys, this you can't lose when you're armed with this kind of information, right? And the only way you lose in that sort of situation is you never got in front of somebody. You never got in front of somebody. So back to my original opening line, right? If you've been thinking about getting in front of somebody and you've just been nervous to call or whatever, just say, hey, listen, I gotta get some training. I gotta get some training. I mean, it's just like just give me like 30 minutes. And if you think it's not for you or you can't use it, listen, I'll never bug you about it again. Is that fair? And tie him down, right? Tie him down. Listen, Jen, I mean, I'm with you. I was there, right? I showed him. I know. I know. And you can't save everybody, but it's not our job to save everybody, but it's our job to try. And that's all you can do. And all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough, right? But if you let one knucklehead discourage you from ever trying again, then they win. Can't let them win. You can't let them win, right? If we know that we know that we know that what we're doing is right, we just got to get in front of more people, right? We got to get in front of more people. Guys, only only like 3% of Americans have the proper amount of life insurance. It's crazy. Crazy. There you go, right? I mean, Jen, you can't fix stupid. You literally can't, and dumb is forever, right? You just can't. You can't. All you can do is it's like horses and water and leading them, right? You can't make them drink. Can't make them drink. I mean, you could. I could put that little horse out there in the sunlight all day long and not give him any water, and in about 3 days, he's gonna take a drink. But that's animal abuse, so we ain't doing that. But I mean, trust me, I can make a horse drink. But for some people like that, can't because they got free will, right? They got free will. And those people, though, all right, I'm gonna set you free. I'm gonna do the 20-60-20 because you need this, right? You need this. Guys, there are going to be people that disappoint you way more than you ever thought they would. Like the people that you thought are going to support you the most are going to be the ones that like disappoint you the most. Oh my God, that was ugly. I'm going to blame that on being sick. Whee! That one looks better. All right. Don't draw on my whiteboard. All right. 20-60-20 rule, right? It's just math. It's just a normal distribution curve. There are different variations of this in terms of percentages and sales techniques and all sorts of stuff, right? But 20% of the people that you meet, guys, are grumpy, angry, will not listen. You could give them the cure for cancer for free, they won't take it. Okay? Right? Jen, that's your cousin that drinks Mountain Dew but has diabetes and won't take medicine. Okay? The other side of the chart, right? The other 20%, these are the people that show up and they don't care what you have, they're buying it. Right? This is like your mom when you sold Girl Scout cookies. Right? They're buying. The people here in the middle, these 60%, they're sort of like, they need to be convinced, right? These people will never do anything. These people are doing it automatically. And these people, right, they could kind of go either way. They're like, we're sort of in the middle. And so this 60% in the middle, you know what happens with this 60%, guys? This is where your skills come in. This is your skills. That 60% in the middle, that belly of the curve, that's you. Because if this is going to happen automatically and this relies on you, well, this wasn't ever going to happen, right? That 20% of people is the people that were broke, people that like just straight up don't see value in it. Those are the people when you meet them and you say, "Hey, listen, most people that I meet that don't have coverage yet, it's like for one of three reasons, right? They know they need it, they just haven't gotten around to it. They know they need it, but they think it's just too expensive, so they haven't gotten around to it." Or the last one, and I know this isn't you, but the last one, some people I've met that they just don't care. Like, oh, I'll be dead. It's their problem. That 20% of the people over there, like those are the ones that say, yeah, it's not my problem. I'm gonna be dead. They'll figure it out. So if those people over there exist, and they do, that means I look at myself in this range in here as like an 80% closer, right? Because these guys are gonna do it no matter what. And if these guys can be convinced, I'm convincing them. But that's because convince people, guys. I am 100% sold that the methodology that we use is perfect. It doesn't lose, right? If somebody gets a level term policy when they're as young and healthy as they're ever going to be, regardless of when that is, and then we get them an investment to go with it, by the time that policy is done, they should be straight. They should be straight, right? And that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And so, best thing you can ever do, just get in front of somebody. Get in front of somebody. Because even if you get in front of somebody and you're doing it on your own and you feel like you completely flopped and you completely flubbed it up, you know what you did? You got a rep in, you learned, you figured out what not to do again, right? Guys, it's only failing if you repeat mistakes. Is that fair? If you just get in front of somebody and wing it and you didn't prepare, it's probably not going to go the way you want. So you got to prepare. You got to get in front of somebody prepared, right? The separations and the preparation. And if you're unsure about how to prepare, well, we have tons of training on Teachable. There's tons of training on all of the YouTube channels that are out there. Text me. Be like, no, I don't know what the hell to do, right? And or text your trainer. Get in front of them. Go role play. If you have like all the whiteboard drawing and stuff that I was doing, guys, if you don't have a mouse yet, you should get one because it's really hard to do that stuff with just your trackpad on your like keypad with your finger. Go get a mouse, like $10 on Amazon, right? But practice this stuff. Pull up a Zoom and practice drawing on a whiteboard. Practice drawing an A diagram. Practice giving a presentation, doing a quick quote. You have to use the tools, or otherwise it's never going to work, right? You can do practice application, you can do practice IBA. If you have no idea what to do, call me. I'll give you something to do. Right? But if you never prepare and then all of a sudden I throw you on the field, think about it, right? I haven't trained for like a wrestling match since college. If I tried to go wrestle somebody right now, I would get destroyed because I'm unprepared. I'm not conditioned. My body's not the same. Well, I can't throw you into a professional like industry without preparation. But a lot of that preparation is on you. It's at an individual level. This is an individual sport, but you're supported by a team. It's the best way to think about it, right? You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. We're here to help you. We're here to train you, but I can't make you do anything. I can't. I wish I could, right? We'd all be great, but I can't make you do anything, right? You just have to You just have to come in, right? You have to get in the field. You have to get on the field. That's what it looks like. All right. So I know I said this would be short. I lied. We're 4 minutes early, so we are short, right? I won't pull you and Andy. I won't go like 30 minutes over. I won't do that. But last thing I'll leave you with, guys. If you're new and you don't have a East Coast Builder School ticket yet, I have ones that I bought in bulk, and so I can get it for you for free, right? Free through the site. You would just pay me 25. It'll save you a bunch of fees and processing stuff, but I still have tickets. Even if you can't get down here in person, you can live stream it, you can watch it on Zoom, and there's a recording. There's going to be different, right? 8 different individuals that earn over $1 million a year teaching you the business from stage. You get a recording on Zoom, it's yours forever. You get a replay, you can go watch all the different speeches that you want. Don't miss it, right? Don't miss it. If you need a ticket and you don't have one, hit me up. I want you to see this stuff, right? Most of you guys that are on here, I think right now have a ticket. Bernardo, Kyle, I don't think you guys have one yet. Brianna, we should talk. Angel, definitely. Kenny, like a couple of you guys, if you don't have a ticket yet and you think you want one, text me. Text me. Anybody that does a policy this month, right? I'm going to give you one for free. So field training, writing one, don't care. If you do a policy, I'm going to give you access to a ticket for free. Okay? And so, Brianna, if we help some of your family this weekend, you're good, girl. Right? So don't worry about it. Anybody else? Same thing. Same thing. All right. Questions? No? All right. I'm going to close this off. We'll get the recording going and I'll put the link out to the YouTube here in a little bit. Guys, listen, we have to get the activity level up, right? We're at 7,000 in premium by like 11 recruits for the month. We are way behind, way behind. We at a minimum every month should be at 30 by 30. All right. So we gotta get the numbers going. If you've got anybody in your back pocket that you've got like a policy to write on, we gotta get it going. We gotta get going. Go get reset. Go get reset. And for all of you licensed agents out there, if you're not working directly with a recruit, but you got a personal client, hit us up in the leaders chat so we can tell you who to put that premium on. Because no premium should be going to waste, right? We can bump somebody's bonus. We get to be Santa Claus. It's kind of fun. Kind of fun. All right, guys, I'm out. I'm gonna go rest my voice a little bit. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Go put it in the chat in the Telegram, please. Go jump in Telegram. Tell them they missed it, right? And say I'm getting reset. Say I'm getting reset because you got to start speaking that out because you'll do it. I sound great. Oh my God, I gotta go. Good night, guys. Bye.